I understand where Monique was coming from. Okay. Shaq's statement was coming from a place of hurt. Monique's statement was also coming from a place of hurt. And that perpetuated the cycle.
That's not perpetuating any cycle.
Let me explain it.
Hold on a minute.
I'll explain it.
It's what we just said about the delivery. You don't like the delivery of what she said.
No, right. I'm okay with the delivery.
No.
Because she told the truth.
But they're not. The world is not.
Well, I'm going to tell you why.
What?
I'm going to tell you why. Because of the cycle. Don't forget, here's the part that I say all the time, makes it sound like me and you are disagreeing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because we're not talking about them.
No.
We're not talking about us.
Right.
We're talking about the proper response to this adverse situation after you've healed.
Right.
Okay? So it's going to sound adverse. Here's what I mean. Both sides gave a common response. The last thing, this is just my thoughts. The last thing I would tell a person who is in such a space to where they feel like they have no one. Because at the end of the day, what he said, he tried to keep his manhood. No, you can't trust no woman. You can't talk to no woman because she will use it to get you. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's coming from a place of hurt. I get it. At the same time, the truth bomb is actually, well, because of the space that I've been in for so many years and what I've experienced anecdotally, I didn't trust that I could open myself up because I got all these traumas. And the moment I open myself up, if you are not mature enough to say, okay, baby, we got all these things laid out. Okay, so let's kind of clean this up a little bit.
Okay, I want to stop you right there because the nature of the person that we're talking about, right? And I'm just going to say this. He lacks accountability in all things.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am O.
And I am Nigeal Comaneci.
And we are
Candid and Clear.
We are the best podcast that will bring you politics, current events, and relationship issues.
Let me tell you what I need you to do. Go out and like, comment, share, and subscribe across all social media platforms.
There's no accountability for missed free throws. It's just, I'm bigger than everybody else, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Get me the ball under the goal, and I put it in. He lacks accountability for his choices in relationships and women. He lacks accountability for the lack of expressiveness and emotional connection that has driven the relationships that he could have had and where he could have been happy to their descent or whatever. It is an accountability issue. And we have to start to ask people very honestly, is it a capacity issue, right? What type of issue is it? He does not have the capacity to function.
It's maturity.
He does not. Thank you. So
because
he doesn't.
In that moment.
But it's his choice because he's choosing to be continuously a cycle of immaturity, right? And emotional unintelligence, right? And he leads with it in all things because the world made him great for being bigger, not for being faster and better.
Let's go put support on what we said earlier. Said the world put him in a position of being great and then all this, right?
Yeah.
When did they do that?
When he in his youth.
So we're talking to grown man Shaq, a little boy Shaq.
I was talking to little boy Shaq.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. Because he came here and in his youth, he was bigger than everybody else. He was, get up and down the court, NBA, this, that, and the other. So you already knew that. So I would imagine at 6, he was bigger than everybody else. Everybody knew it. And people deferred to him surely because of size at 6. Mm-hmm. So from the time he's been 5 or 6, all the way up until now, right? So we talking to a 6-year-old, whatever age body it is.
Thank you. You proved my point. Now, with that being said, Monique although appearingly more mature in this facet, also spake from a place of hurt. I'll show you why.
She jabbed him because he jabbed women. She responded with the energy. Let me say this. She responded with the energy that he came out with.
Now, here we go.
Yeah.
Now, that is a residual of I'm getting my lick back. Perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
What if any woman could have done this?
Mm-hmm.
Could have got on there and said, hey, listen, Shaq done been through some things. We're talking to the traumatized 16, 17-year-old Shaquille O'Neal, who wasn't allowed to express himself. We understand where Shaq is coming from. There's some growth and healing needs to be done there because there are genuine women out there who can create a safe space for you to open up so we can address the real issue. With that
Some
being
people
said,
would have said that was emasculating in and of itself because we were making an assumption that we're still calling him a hurt little boy.
well, again,
You're still saying the very same thing. It's just you've put a load of sugar on it.
Well,
and the problem
okay.
is that you start to shift accountability for it.
Do you want to fix the overall problem, or do you just want to address the problem?
I don't want to fix anything with this.
Okay, so now we got a totally different conversation because Monique, okay, you pointed at the problem, but at the same time, the men who are on their journey, sometimes you got to understand you're not talking to the people that's talking. You're not even talking to their childhood. You're talking to everybody else that's listening that don't have the space to talk.
That's true. But
now,
you know what? She didn't. He only asked her what she thought about it.
Well, see, again.
And again, she wasn't tasked with going down a psychological diagnosis.
Not even.
He doesn't have the emotional intelligence or fortitude. Fortitude to function in a space that a man of maturity and that has healed at his age would.
Okay.
He can't even approach the question in a way, right, that would elicit, because again, it goes back to what we say, right, that would elicit an intelligent response. Because there is a king and a queen in every man and woman. There's also a fool. Depending on the one that you talk to,
that's who's gonna show up.
That's the person that shows up.
Now.
So when you jump out with an accusation that women are not capable of creating a safe space for you, because that is what you told the world and what you did to other young African-American men, is that you can't trust women. You can't tell them nothing or whatever. And on your platform, for the culture, right? For the number of followers you have, for the number of subscribers you have, for the circles that you in, you should have never said that there.
Okay, so let me ask you a question because it's going to lead us to something else. In that moment, Monique had the upper hand. She could have done one or two things. We know what she did. She could have validated what he said from the point of view of all the men who are on the journey to be better, right? Because don't forget, there are men watching that podcast that are where Shaq is, that are mature enough to say, hey, I'm where Shaq is, hurt, but I want to be better, and I know I got to find better. I got to do better. I got to do better, that are listening to this platform. The last thing we want to do, regardless of how we feel about Shaq's statement, we don't want Shaq to be able to look at the camera and be like, see, look at her response. First thing she did, you ain't got nobody, blah, 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 blah. No. Because in that moment, let's be fair. Oh my God, we got to be fair about this. Now I'm talking for the people. Me and you don't have these issues, but there are people out there who are having a hard time, who are good people who are having a hard time finding good people to commune with. So what we don't want to do, we don't want to prove, even though, again, the squeakiest wheel gets the oil. It is so loud. Ain't no safe space for men. Men ain't shit. That's loud. And the reality of it is,
I vehemently disagree.
Okay.
Because that's so loud. Nobody goes to Club Shay Shay looking for healing and restoration.
Oh, we looking for the mess.
None of the members of the male community are going there for that. They're not necessarily looking for what you just said. We could have validated or invalidated this or created a safe space. There's no safe spaces in Club Shay Shay. It's a club. That's number one. So number two, they ain't going there looking for that. Those people that are there are listening to Shaq to be an authority. He should have never, in that forum, spake that way about women.
Facts.
Absolutely. So
Facts.
first of all, you were so disrespectful. That is the wrong forum for that. You are not an authority on relationships with women. You cannot right now post up one successful relationship with a woman.
That is why,
at this point, you, sir, are out of line. Now, Monique could have
he
softened.
missed 3 words. My anecdotal experience.
yeah.
Had he just said my anecdotal, which is what he was speaking of, my anecdotal experience, I have
It would not
found
have
the safe
changed
space.
the way it would have been perceived, because most people that are hurt like him would have said, "Yep, you right, and that's exactly what the comments say. After that, the problem is that the way she came back at first with a put down, where she always started off with sweet baby, sugar baby, she should have started off with black man.
That's what, and I was
Right.
looking for that from, because I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah. You were looking for the auntie.
I'm looking for Auntie Monique, because there have been so many times that I've heard Auntie speak, and I used to imagine her with a switch in her hand while she's speaking.
Right.
I love you, but I'm gonna get you right.
Because hold your hand out.
Yes.
And I'm gonna give you some licks right here so it run right up to your brain.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That is the approach that she should have taken with him. First of all, I want to say this is the wrong place to ask that question or answer it. Second of all, I want to say to give a generalized response to a question that broad
And
is not in, it is, well, let me say it like this, it is in poor taste. So now, once I have set up the framework to respond, then I can say, black man, let me just talk to you. Right. And then I can say, there are a group of women that live on this planet who would love to give you 100% wholesome experience. But you got to show up for that experience and be whole and healed in and of yourself. And you have to accept accountability for the things that you haven't done well, for the choices that you've made. And let's approach the question and response when you get there, when you get to your healed self. Come back and answer this question, because I believe your answer will have evolved as will have you. Okay. But you got to frame anything that you.
I think, and again, Monique is hurt too.
Well, I'm not saying she's not. She's hurt by hearing that.
Yeah.
Women. It's triggering.
Hurt. Yeah, it's triggering.
It's triggering.
It's triggering because I get it.
Because we talk about the 72 and the 200, but the reality, the entire 200 said, "Excuse me,"
because I'm here trying. I'm here doing.
Yeah.
And let's be honest. The reason I don't like statements like, "Well, you ain't got nobody. You single. All your relationships fail." Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who is in a relationship right now,
Mm-hmm.
every relationship prior to that failed.
There are failures in the relationship that you are in right now.
Exactly. So we have to stop. Okay, this jab and this dagger that we're putting on people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ain't none of your relationships worked out.
Well, it's the tit for tat culture.
That's what I'm saying.
It is the pettiness.
Ain't none of your relationships worked out, ma'am, sir. The moment you become single, ain't none of your relationships worked out. What is you talking about?
Again, I'm gonna say this very eloquently for everybody who listens to us. The very fact that you can see my flaws and my failures forward, but I can't see yours.
That's because of the platform.
Yes. Right. Because of the platform.
Yes.
Right. Makes you feel like you can sit and discuss mine because you've hidden your own. Right. Makes you qualified to feel that way. But there's very much a dynamic between males and females of tit for tat. I got to get my lick back, or I got to shut you down so that you feel like you are not qualified to have the conversation that we are in. When are we going to stop the bullshit and just have the conversations we need to have? And everybody show up at their best and highest self and just discuss what we need to discuss. And then we get out of there. See, we don't have to live here. We don't have to rehearse it. I don't have to tell you what you did or whatever. All I have to do is say, listen, you did this and it hurt my feelings. And I'd like to move us forward. I don't want to live in this space with you.
Big Brother Denzel said, the reason, well, I'm going to get to what he said. The reason we in this situation right now in the community, everybody want their lick back and everybody want recompense is because, again, I'm going to leave here with something.
Right.
You understand?
But let me say this, and I want to make this absolutely clear. I do not sow things that I don't want to reap.
Come on, you got to be careful.
So if you continue down this tit for tat tug of war in your relationships, what are you sowing except for a cycle of toxicity? I actually want to be happy and at peace and enjoy my life. So you're sowing the opposite of what you say you would like to see. Right?
Yes.
So help me understand. Do you really know what you want? Are you really representative of the things that you say you want?
We know what we want. However, we also know whether or not we are duly qualified for the things that we say we want.
Well, then go sit with yourself.
See, don't nobody want to sit in the mirror and look at my own shit all day. I'd rather look at your shit and tell you what's wrong with you.
Do your shadow work.
Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am O.
And I am Nigeal Comaneci.
And we are
Candid and Clear.
We are the best podcast that will bring you politics, current events, and relationship issues.
Let me tell you what I need you to do. Go out and like, comment, share, and subscribe across all social media platforms.
We like, comment,
share, subscribe.